This episode of Soldier Knows Best is brought to you by GoDaddy. Hey, what's up guys, Soldier Knows Best here. This is my review of the new Amazon Fire TV. This little box right here is aimed to go at the likes of the Apple TV and also the Roku box. So I'm going to take a look at this box and see what it actually brings to the plate. As far as looks, the top is matte black and the sides are glossy black, and it only sits 0.7 inches off of the ground. So it's going to be a very nice low profile and it'll easily disappear on your entertainment console. But just overall size wise, it is a little bit bigger than something like a Roku box or an Apple TV. Now in the back, you'll find a few ports. You'll find the HDMI port, optical, also an Ethernet port, and a USB 2.0 port. Now the remote control that comes with the Fire TV is easily my favorite out of a box like this. It has a few buttons. It has a back button, home button, some playback controls, also navigation and select buttons. And then right above that, you'll find this voice search button, which I'll demonstrate here in a little bit. And above that, you'll see the microphone. And this remote control works over Bluetooth, so you don't have to have direct line of sight with the box itself. So I can be pointing at a wall, at the ceiling, and it'll still be able to control the box. Alright, so enough about the hardware. It's going to power up this box and take a look at the software. Now, this box is running an Android-based software, which is called Fire OS. So it will be able to use a lot of apps, especially games that run with Android. But basically, the UI is pretty simple. You have your home section. You have a section for movies and TV shows. You have your watch list, things that you go ahead and manually select that you may want to watch later. Then also you have your video library, which will show you things that you have purchased and ready for you to watch. And also you have games, apps, photos, and settings. Now navigation is pretty simple. You just need to go to the right on any category that you want to go through, and then you pick the subcategory you want to go into and then simply scroll to the right or to the left to navigate to which content that you actually want to watch. Now the Fire TV also has a feature called ASAP, which means that the box will actually predict what movie or TV show that you may want to watch and go ahead and preload that content. So when you do click on it, it'll immediately start playing, no buffering, nothing like that. Now this sometimes works, sometimes doesn't, but this could get better in the long run as I start to use it more and more, use the box, and it learns my habits and learns my likes. Now searching for content on a box like this is usually frustrating because you have to use the on-screen keyboard and just use the little remote control that comes with it. But the Amazon Fire TV and this remote control is awesome because it does have a microphone built inside of it. So you press and hold on the voice search button and then you go ahead and talk to see what you want to look for. Avatar. Dragon Ball Z. Soldier Knows Best. And so my experience with it is that it works very well. I was able to look up either actors' names or the name of the movie or the TV show, and it'll go ahead and find that content and you can go ahead and start watching it. Now, if you don't want to use voice search or it can't find what you're looking for, you can go ahead and use this system that they have where basically you scroll through the alphabet and choose letters one by one. It'll go ahead and automatically populate information about what it's trying to predict that you're looking for, or you have to type it all the way through, which if you have to type it all the way through, it's definitely going to take a long time than it would with an on-screen keyboard, but again, it's not that bad to use. Now this Fire TV also kind of sort of gives you options when it comes to watching content. So say I'm looking for a TV show, it'll give me an option to actually buy it from Amazon itself, or I can actually watch it on Hulu if I am a Hulu subscriber and I'm logged into the app. Now it doesn't talk to other apps like Netflix and other apps really, just really right now just basically with Hulu. So that's one update in the future that I'm looking forward to, where it can talk across all the third-party apps. So when I do search for content, I can get all the options right there in front of me instead of having to go into app by app by app. Now this Fire TV has 8 gigabytes of internal storage for you to play around with. So you can download other apps, again, like Netflix or Hulu, and also to TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, other apps like that. The main app that is missing from the Fire TV is HBO Go, but that will be coming to the Fire TV later on this year. Now you can also download games, which is another aspect of this box, which is pretty cool. It has games that you can play just with the remote control, but if you want to get at the full gaming potential of this box, you need to buy the Amazon Fire Game Controller. So this controller runs you an additional $40, and it's definitely a lot like the Xbox controller for the Xbox One and even the Xbox 360, and that's because the analog stick layout is basically the same. The D-pad and also the X, Y, B, and A buttons are in the same locations, and also too it has a couple buttons at the bottom that are unique to it. It does have some playback buttons, and also in the middle you'll find the home button and other buttons that are pretty familiar, like the back button. Then it also has 2 triggers and 2 shoulder buttons, and it feels like the Xbox controller, a little bit cheaper of course, but also Also too, the D-pad is a little muddy. So I mean, again, it's not as perfect as a controller coming from one of these big gaming companies that have a lot of experience with it, but it's enough to get the job done for playing the type of games you can play on this box. And the Fire TV actually has a decent selection of games to choose from. You have Asphalt Racing, you have Dead Trigger, you have Minecraft. You have all the popular games on the Google Play Store for Android. Then finally, speed-wise, this box is extremely fast and responsive. It has a 1.7 gigahertz quad-core processor inside of it, 2 gigabytes of RAM. As I mentioned before, it does have 8 gigabytes of internal storage, and it just really blazes through anything I throw at it. I mean, while you're downloading games, playing games, or searching through the menus, I really didn't notice any type of lag at all. So it's a pretty good responsive box, and it's really going to be set for the future as more software starts to come down and better games start to come out that demand more from the hardware. And so this box is definitely blowing anything else out of the water when it comes to just pure performance for my taste. And so all in all, guys, I say that the Fire TV is definitely off to a great start. It's a good little box for $99. The only thing that you have to ask yourself is that if you already own something like a Roku or an Apple TV, or even just an Xbox or a PlayStation, you already have a lot of the software that this box does have, and some of the software that the box doesn't have already at your fingertips, so you don't need to spend an extra $100. But if you do just have something like an Apple TV, which is limited compared to this when you look at the gaming aspects of it, and also this Fire TV has a way better remote control, and I love the voice search. It does make your life a little bit easier. Maybe something to consider which one you may want to actually keep depending on how much content that you are going to be invested in. And so ultimately, if you are an Amazon Prime member, this box is kind of tailored towards you. And if you're already looking for something like this and you don't own anything else already, this would be a great addition to have to your entertainment console. And so anyway, this wraps up my review of the Amazon Fire TV. Leave your comment down below what you think about this box and how it stacks up against everything else in the market. And thanks for watching this video, and I will catch you later. Peace. And today's sponsor is GoDaddy. If you're looking to start a website for your business or just a personal website, GoDaddy has you covered. If you want to get a domain name, a .com domain name for just $2.95, all you have to do is go to GoDaddy.com and enter in the code BEST295, or if you want to save 30% on your new purchases, just enter in the code BEST30. Again, BEST295 or BEST30. I'm hooking you up for being a Soldier Knows Best viewer, and just go to GoDaddy.com and they'll take care of the rest.